Hope everyone's doing good out there in the land of the internet. Wanted to talk about a couple of things that came up in response to our last video about using factory shallow versus factory deep brakes on solid slider down objects. Had a couple of people ask some questions, and I just wanted to dig into a couple of those issues. The first thing that somebody asked is, does that mean that we're all good to go if we just put the canopy in factory deep brakes and go make our first jump off of Tombstone on this new canopy or some other solid slider down cliff? And the answer to that is definitely no. While almost every manufacturer's factory deep brake settings are shallow enough to be used well, there are some cases, usually with older canopies or canopies somebody else has reconfigured, where the brake setting that you think of as factory deep is actually too deep for your body weight. I don't know when that's going to happen, and neither do you until you test jump the canopy. So the first thing that you should do when you're setting up a new canopy is make some test jumps in a relatively safe environment to verify the brake settings. Sometimes you'll discover that a new canopy, you think you're going to a factory deep setting, and the deep setting is just too deep on your body weight. The canopy will stall and sink out at opening. It's really important that before you ever go make a jump on a real technical object with your new canopy, you test the brake settings in a safe-ish environment. Something like the bridge here, nice antenna with a good field underneath it, not a lot of strike potential, something like that. Give yourself a short delay, so if the brake settings are too deep, then you don't sink into the ground, and if they're way too shallow, hopefully you've got good clearance so you're not surging into something. So, short answer on that question, if you're setting up a new canopy, always test the brake settings, even the factory brake settings, before trusting those settings in that canopy in a technical environment, something where an object strike could potentially do serious injury to you.